Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The Honorable Mrs. Vega Esmatantia and whoever watched this video right now, good evening. I'm Raditya Putra and this is Q&A video for midterm test instructional design. So this video basically will be talking about or we'll be doing Q&A 5 question and answer of lesson plan that we have been learning since the start of the fourth semester. So not wasting time because we have only 10 minutes and or less. Okay, let's get to the first question. Hey, what is the importance of making a lesson plan before learning and teaching activities? So having lesson plan is like you are making a to-do list for a day, or you are using Google Maps for where do you want to go. You're doing to-do lists for the day. For example, in the morning you are going to do this, and in the evening you are going to do this. It'll make your job, it'll make your work and time will be more efficient, right? So because you know what you're going to do. Meanwhile, if you're using Google Maps, you know where you are going to go, and it'll membuat waktumu lebih efficient. Sorry, I'm speaking in Indonesian because I'm stuttering. So yeah, that's the importance of making a lesson plan as a guide to know what you're going to do, especially for teachers. If you are seeing the definition stated by an expert, okay, Kunandar, 2011 said that the objectives of the learning implementation plan are to simplify, expedite, and improve the result of the teaching and learning process. By developing a professional, systematic, and efficient learning plan, the teacher will be able to observe, analyze, and predict the learning program as a logistical plan framework. The function of the lesson plan is a reference for teachers to carry out teaching and learning activities so that they are more directed and run effectively and efficiently. That's the definition of lesson plan, and that is the importance of making lesson plan. If you don't have any lesson plan, yeah, you will be lost for teacher, and it'll make the learning and teaching and learning activities chase the goal first, and second, if it is, I can assure that it will not be efficient. Okay, now we're getting to the second question. What should we consider when setting learning objectives in the lesson plan? Before answering the question, we have to know what learning objective is. So learning objective is an outcome or the skills that the students will get after the learning activities. Okay, now the definition. Learning objectives, the behavior of learning outcomes that are expected to occur, to be owned or controlled by students after participating in certain learning activities. Learning objectives are the direction to be directed from a series of activities carried out in the learning process. Now, how to make the learning objectives? No one answer? Okay, so it is. We have to know about, to answer the question, we have to study about Bloom's taxonomy. So Bloom's taxonomy, what is it? Is a food? No, it's not a food. It's a stage of the skills that the students will get from the lowest skill to the highest skill. Why from the lowest skills? Why is the students need to have the lowest skill? Why not the highest skill first? I said first, okay. Students need to get the lowest skills before getting the highest skills. Because if we are jumping and going back or jumping from the skills, the higher skills they're hard to get. It's like Bloom's taxonomy is like if you are playing in a game, you have to pass the first stage before fighting the boss, because you cannot fight the boss. You don't have any, you don't have any experience, you don't have any knowledge, you don't have any information about the boss. You need to pass the first level. So that's definition of Bloom's taxonomy by me. But the real definition is hierarchical structure that identifies skills from the lowest level to the highest level. Okay, Bloom's taxonomy has three domains, that is cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And now we are going to be focused on the first domain, that is cognitive. Cognitive has 6 stages of level. As we can see in the picture beside, there are 6 skills playing here. That is to remember, to understand, to apply, to analyze, and evaluate, and then create. Now, logically, we can create something, but kita tidak akan bisa menciptakan sesuatu jika kita tidak bisa memahami apa itu, what is the thing we are going to create. That's why the creating is on the 6th level, is on the hardest level of cognitive, because this is the the states. Okay, first of all, we have to be able to remember as a student. When we are able to remember, we are able to understand, and so on. After understanding, you will be able to apply to your life, and you can able to analyze. So there are verbs operational of cognitive domain in this first number. In the first level, or to remember, they are like to read, to choose, to write, to state, to search, and so on. So if you are going to make learning objectives, you have to make sure that the skills the students will have is the first one, the first level, and then the second, and then the third. You cannot jump from the first to the third, or going back to the second. No, because you will not, the students will be struggling, right? So that's the answer for the second question. Now we are getting to the third question. Sorry. Okay, in developing the learning steps, what are consideration in determining the teacher strategies or techniques be used? Well, it depends on the learning objectives. If you for the first one, if the first strategies are and teaching, or the first hour, if you want in your learning objectives, you want the students to, for example, like to write, you're going to teach, you are going to use strategies that will force the students to write, to take note. Or if you want this, if your first or the third learning objectives is you want the students to analyze, so you are going to use the teaching strategies about analyzing, or methods, or like for example, that analyze, you will be giving some example of you want the students to analyze some question or some text, like that. So it depends on the learning objectives. Now we're going to the fourth question. Sorry. What are the benefits of textbooks and students' worksheets and learning activities? Well, for for me as in students' perspective, the benefits of having textbooks and students' worksheets for us is to be learned first, and second, we will be able to practice, right? Because in there are a lot of reference. We can read so many we can get so many information there that we don't know, and then there will be always the practice. What is the use of practice in learning activities? So it's basically if you are practicing it, it means it's a repetition, and repetition. So it will make the learning activities more meaningful in our head. We'll be able to understand more and more and more. We'll be maybe if we can create something or we can figure out something that someone don't, right? And then sorry, and that's yeah, that's the answer. According to Imran, the function of textbooks are as a reference material for educators and students. The function of textbooks for teachers is to direct all their activities in the learning process, as well as the substance of competence should be taught to students. Okay, the last question. Sorry, there's a problem. Okay, what are the tips for developing good student worksheets? I'm gonna stick to the, the cara lama, old trick that we have to. There is an abbreviation, or we can say ATM in Indonesia, like amati, tiru, and modifikasi. Before we creating something, as I said before, we have to know what we are going to create. We have to look at a lot of reference. We have to read a lot of, especially here, is students' worksheets. And then we will try to copy, not totally copying, but we're not only copying, but also modifying. And we are going to do that for a long time. And not only that, we can do like, joining a course for developing good students worksheets. Yeah. And what else? Is that it? Tips for developing good students worksheets. Yeah. The only question is practice. Maybe there's another answer, but yeah, that's my method. There's all that is my methods. That's the only methods. Okay, now it's all done. Thank you for watching the video until the end. And how much time? So okay, goodbye and see you the next video. What video? I don't know. Bye bye. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.